Hello and welcome to another Bushwhacker review. Today we are going to be taking a look at NASCAR Authentics Wave 6 for 2023. And as you can see in front of you, it's a pretty solid wave. We've got a very big highlight at the end of this video. But other than that, it is a really nice wave. There's not a bunch of big team cars in here. You do have a Hendrick driver with the Chase Elliott truck, but it's a truck and it's not a Hendrick truck. I know some people were a little bit disappointed in getting all three of the manufacturer's 75th anniversary program cars of sorts in the wave, but you got a good selection of kind of smaller teams here. I mean, you have Stewart-Haas Racing, but the way they've been running, they basically are a smaller team now. But not a bad wave at all. Why don't we just hop right into it? We'll start with the first manufacturer car. We have the Ford Mustang manufacturer car. It's funny that the way that these cards are, it looks like they're I believe they call it, what do they call it? Diamond? They had like a special finish for the 75th anniversary, and these renders look like the diamond versions because they're all sparkly, where the real cars are these are just the standard cars. Like I said, they did make 124s of these, both as a standard and as that diamond edition this year. They're all the same paint scheme, just with the different varying colors and bodies for each manufacturer. Ford definitely ran the worst of all in the 75th anniversary year, but they did win the championship in all three series, so I guess they came out on top at the end. But definitely an interesting diecast just to have the all manufactured with the same paint scheme like that. Next up, we have the Toyota one. Once again, you have the shiny, sparkly render. Here's the Toyota one. Said same paint scheme, this time in red on the Toyota body. So they're not that exciting of cars. Like, there's not too much to talk about with even cars like this, but I would have rather gotten that 75th anniversary raced version, the fantasy race version I have reviewed on the 124 on this channel. But that did appear in Authentics, just not in a wave that appeared in the Christmas calendar. But here we have the Chevy one. Again, same paint scheme, this time in a kind of yellowish gold color. But that's that. Now let's get to the more exciting cars. We have Chase Elliott's Gates hydraulic truck. This is also kind of funny because this is the team that has the Napa 19 truck. And it's funny that Chase Elliott ran for them, but not in a Napa car. Gates hydraulic is probably something related to Napa still, but it's just kind of funny that you would have expected Chase Elliott to run the full Napa truck. But definitely cool to get kind of a small team truck in the Authentics line. Even if it is Chase Elliott, this is still a small team truck. And this paint scheme ran with random small team drivers too. He ran this at Daytona. I don't remember what happened to him. Did he get in a wreck? I don't even remember exactly what happened last year at the Daytona truck race. That was the race that ended by rain, I believe, with Zane Smith winning in the Loves truck again. But definitely pretty cool to get a small team truck like that. Said even if it is Chase Elliott. Next up, we have the blurry decal car of the wave. We've got Michael McDowell's Loves number 34 for Front Row Motorsports. The car that I've been trying so hard to get a 124 of, and it keeps not happening. Last year, the 124 got canceled and it got made as a boxed 164 only. And then in Authentics, but as you can see, this is the kind of weird, crappy, blurry decal car of the wave that they just keep doing every good mold wave. Like, what is the reason for this? I don't know, like Lionel just kind of said like, oh, we've told them to, use one single printing process going forward, but it's still happening, so they're not listening. And also, why are they doing this in the first place? What is the purpose of this? Is this really just to stop custom makers? I said a long time ago when we got like the first one of these, somebody tried to use the like typical stuff they used to get decals off a car for custom making, and it didn't even touch this. Like, it turned it into like a raw finish diecast. It touched the paint, it didn't touch the decals. If they're really doing this just to stop custom makers, that is so petty and stupid. They always pick like good cars too. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, if they were going against custom makers, wouldn't you want to choose like these cars that are probably peg warming everywhere that people would use for customs? People love Michael McDowell's and they love the Loves car. Like, this is not a car that I think people are immediately just going to custom making on. I don't know. It pisses me off because now even like a few waves later than this, what's the blurry wave car? Joey Logano's Pennzoil Vegas Steve Park looking car. So that's like 2 times that Logano's gotten the blurry decal car in the good mold waves. So, yay. And it's the liquid color. They seem to do that a lot too, where the liquid color car is the, not every wave, but sometimes the liquid color car is also blurry decals, which is like, why would you ever do that? Anyways, that's enough of a rant. Go pre-order the 2024 version of this car in 1/24 scale, please. I really want it to get made, and it keeps getting canceled every year. Next up, we have Kevin Harvick's gear wrench Ford for Stewart-Haas Racing. One of the few diecasts we got for his final season in Authentics. These gear wrench cars always look pretty nice. On track, the orange has a little bit of a metallic to it. It might be on this diecast. It's hard to tell, but those decals aren't really lined up that well either, now that I'm zooming in. But the gear wrench cars always look nice. Everyone was so sad that we never got a good wrench paint scheme with gear wrench as the sponsor for a throwback, but they're never bad looking cars. Next up, we have Noah Gregson's Wendys Daytona 500 car for Legacy Motor Club. One of the very few Noah Gregson cars we got in Authentics last year. I reviewed the 124 of this paint scheme. If you want to see a more detailed review. Solid paint scheme, probably my least favorite out of all 3 of his Legacy Motor Club Wendys paint schemes. So there's just too much of that kind of Legacy Motor Club black and gold shoved in the middle of this car that breaks up the Wendys colors a little too much for me. But this car was probably a very popular one on store shelves. Always cool to get rookie cars in Authentics, and always cool to get sponsors like Wendys in Authentics. Next up, we have Daniel Suarez's Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. Screwed that up. Car for Trackhouse. I do have the 124 of this. I don't know why I haven't reviewed it yet. The real car does have a chrome number, but obviously they don't do the chrome numbers in Authentics. It's a really nice paint scheme. Like I said, I did buy the 124 of it eventually, so at some point I'll review that. But I just love the kind of neon sign quarter panel logo down the side. The purple and the black is a great color combination mixed with that. Just fantastic. And I was also able to get the liquid color chase piece of this car. So there you can see the liquid color if you want to see that. Very, very nice. It is kind of funny how only like parts of the purple seem to be in liquid. Like the roof and the hood are, but like this piece is not, and it's not down here either. I mean, that could be a decal, but it seems like the A-post, C-post, B-post area would be liquid too. And so the good mold waves still do say liquid color chase piece with that logo right there, but the crappy mold waves do not say that on the box, so that's leading to a lot of confusion. But worth pointing that out. And now we get to the one true highlight of the wave. We have Ross Chastain's Moose Fraternity Hale Mellon car. But it's got a detail that you probably have noticed by now, and that is the fact that this has windshield banners and windshield detail for a regular Authentics. As you probably should know by now, those are not on Authentics. As you can see, windshields are completely blank on all Authentic cars. The only way we started to get this was on later waves of the winner's circle. The first couple waves did not have windshield stuff, but then the later waves have had it for the race wins. But the only reason they did it on this car was because they screwed up the boxed 164. Back when the boxed 164 first got spotted, it was the Plan B sales diecast chassis like air freight version. They somehow completely forgot to put on the windshield banners on the regular box 164. They usually do have them. So they made up for that, but when they released this on Authentics, they actually were able to squeeze it into Authentics. So you were still able to get an accurate version of a 164 of this car. The funny thing is they basically admitted that the 124 was about to be the same thing, but when the 164 came out, they quickly panicked and fixed the 124. So we were about to have a 124 missing windshield banners too. Like, Lionel got close to completely screwing up the most anticipated and, best-selling car of 2022. And it's also just the fact we get, like, you know, actual sort of race detail and authentics anymore, because those have basically been completely shifted to the winner's circle line. Not that he won this race, this wouldn't count as a winner's circle anyways, but we just don't get, like, this detailed in cars and base authentics anymore. Have reviewed the 124 of this car if you want a more detailed video, but it is really cool to get this in authentics. And like I said, kudos to Lionel for fixing their mistake and actually giving us this. They definitely deserve a lot of credit for that. But that's about it for Wave. As I said earlier, this is a very solid Wave, even if the program cars are definitely a little bit underwhelming. Like, everything else in this Wave is just a pretty solid selection of cars and teams and drivers and sponsors and paint schemes. I feel like pointing out that that hauler in the back you see is actually double-sided again. This one has on the left side AJ Allmendinger's number 16 Gain car, and on the right side, Justin Haley's number 31 Tide car. I assume that means we'll be getting in authentics. Or was it in the most recent Wave? I haven't gotten that most recent, like, base Wave. Well, either of the two most recent base Waves. That first Wave of 2024, that's the 2023 Coca-Cola 600 Patriotic Wave, does have the thing that we very rarely get, and that is a car in that Wave that wasn't just a DNP'd car, but a car that was never offered. Ross Chastain's Advent Health Patriotic that's in that Wave was never once actually offered. We occasionally get that every once in a while, like we had it where we had that random, like, playoff Ryan Blaney Menard's car that was never offered, and the playoff, like, Money Lion Cindric car that was never offered. And who knows how or why it happens, but occasionally does. Anyways, this Wave should be still in some stores right now. The Waves have been very odd in stores. Some places have, like, 2 years ago Waves. Some places have, like, the most recent Waves. Other places just get, like, they'll get, like, Wave 6, and then they'll get Wave 2, and then they'll get Wave 2024, Wave 3, and it just doesn't... The stores are getting really odd with how they stock. It's no longer just like, oh, here, this month you get Wave 1, this month you get Wave 2, this month you get Wave 3. It's just completely random now, so whatever. But happy hunting if you're looking for any of the cars in this Wave still. Remember, for all of your other diecast needs, you can go to circlebdiecast.com, and if you use the code BWhack, you can get $5 off shipping on any order over $30. So go check that out if you want anything. But I think that's pretty much all there is to say. This has been a review of the NASCAR Authentics Wave 6 for 2023. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.